Hi everyone, it's Angel 111 Mima. So, this is a very quick, precise message, and we go straight to the point. The question here is, why do we fail in life? Or why do we make our life hard? All right, there are plenty of factors that can make life hard. But once you identify them, there's always a remedy for every disease. So, one, it can be generational curse. A generational curse that is passed through generations to your family, through bloodline, or even the place that you stay. For example, uh, it comes from the family. You know, people like there are diseases which are hereditary. For example, diabetic, it comes all the way to the family and people inherit it. But there are generational curses which are passed because of the karma. Maybe it was done by your forefathers. He stole something or did something, and it's passed because he didn't heal that karma, and it keeps on passing over to the next generation. You can be somebody very okay, and you wonder, why is it that I'm doing everything right, everything by the book, but why am I getting affected? The answer is simple. It can be a generational curse. So, how do you break this cycle? Refer to my notes. My moderators were here. There is a video I think I made, but I also have it in my Samsung notes. Check, you're going to find how to break the generational curses. It's very important. Follow the steps, you can stop the cycle. Secondly, we have the habit of binding. Binding in a society. These binds come, for example, these days people do it through tech, apart from even witchcraft and spirituality. But they can do it through tech, like you try to simulate people in that, you put them in the same simulation, maybe because of age or name and so on. But back then, the binding was through marriage or intercourse. Yep, two factors, marriage or intercourse. For example, a big problem can come from the person you marry from that. For example, from this family you go to the other family, somebody proposes and you get married. That family already has maybe trauma in them, or they have karma. When you go intimate with that person, even when you don't give birth or you don't conceive anything, so long as the person from that family bloodline has come inside you, or we are above 18, yeah, so this, it's okay, we are adults, it's respectful, I'm giving this information, no offense. But the moment you are intimate with that person and he goes finishing everything inside you, he leaves a part of him. He leaves part of his life, life force, vitality inside you. And you know, the womb is the vessel of manifestation. Not only that, but the highest vibration in manifestation is when a person comes. Yep. That's why we're told love is a very high vibration. And that's why when somebody hurts you, it hurts deep if you love the right way. But if you're a player, you don't even feel it. But for people who are really have been in love, like properly, when somebody breaks your heart, you feel it deep, because love is a very strong vibration. If it gets the right handler, like somebody who knows how to handle your heart and you exchange those feelings, this is why they say love conquers it all. It's because when you have the right partner, even with nothing, you can build an empire. Believe me, because your vibration is so high, the law of attraction is giving you only what is expected. There's something very good. I'll give you a very good example. People who have been together and have nothing and they build an empire. I'm going to give you an example. Jeff Bezos. Look at his history with his first wife. They started from the basement. They built an empire together until when they had more than enough. Men will always be men. he turned around and looked for something else. That's a good example. When their vibration was extremely high, they manifested everything, an empire from a basement. But when they broke, everything changed. It's not like before. Why? Because that frequency is already killed. Even when now they have wealth, it will never manifest like it was before. That's the danger of breaking the frequency of your wealth. The partner you build with, if you leave that partner, if it's death, it's a different story because that's a universal stop. But if you just cheat or decide to go for number two, number three, or side chick, by default, you are glitching your simulation. When you glitch your simulation, that's where now the force of vitality starts to glitch as well. So your law of attraction gets like infected. It becomes sick, quote unquote, which means you cannot vibe like before. So you're starting to, like a slow puncher. The tires just flat. Such kind of an example. So that can be a good reason when you have the right partner and you have like true love. I'm telling you, ask anyone. People who have true love, they start from zero. You can have a mattress and sleep on the ground. But if it is really true love from both sides, the reciprocal is balancing the equilibrium, trust me, an empire you will build. It doesn't have to be a billionaire, millionaire. Sorry, I just ate dinner. But it can be, you can sustain your life and live very comfortably, very, very comfortably without even worrying about bills or anything. You have your savings when you have the right vibration. Then, as I said about the other part of binding, that was through intimacy in marriage, for example. Now comes this bullshit of binding online. AI has ruined many lives as well as built, sorry, it has built also many lives as well. For example, you put somebody in a simulation, yeah? One person is from a different level or class or educational standard, and the other one is more like a village champion. They are more into fighting. They don't understand anything in school, or they don't have any skills in career, for example. When you put these two together, imagine you put a geek and a village champion. The village champion always looks for fights. The geek is silent, trying to, like study or explore even more and more some new stuff or learning about their career. When you put this together, this is a recipe for what? Destruction for both of them. Because the one who is low vibration, for example, I'm not insulting them, I'm just giving you an example. Someone who's not educated, a village champion, for example, just a fighter and all that. They're in the low vibration. And the one who is educated up there, like an ad, is already high vibration. When you put them together, it's a conflict already. They're glitching from the word go. Because it's always known when you're low, the power of a low vibration, it's 10 times stronger than the power of a high vibration. And that's why we're even told the reciprocal of one negative vibe is equal to 100 positive vibe. So you can have 100 positive vibe, but one negative vibe can destroy you, which is, you can see it's true. You take, for example, something like a drug one time and you feel the temptation to take more. One negative vibe, you're gone. So, but to build 100 negative, positive vibe, you have that consistency. You have to repeat that thing again and the momentum, everything to get that thing work. But when you glitch once and then, so this is the power like of dealing with someone who is low vibe. They will pull you, just like the way I was giving example earlier, the gravity force. When you deal with gravity force, what does it pull? It pulls down. It is more powerful to pull down But look at helium, for example, the gas we use to even pump in balloons. It just floats. Why? It's lifeless. The dance is like nothing. So it just floats. That's what happens. When you deal with negative people, their force is strong to pull you down. But when you deal with people who have your same mindset, you just float because there are no negativity. It's easy for you to just sway and move up higher and higher and higher. All this information you can refer to. My team was checking Samsung Notes, the part where you deal with. There's a notes I wrote about how to break generational curse and also manifestation. Check my videos about new moon in Libra. I think it's in Help Within 2018. How to manifest, how you can cleanse yourself also to manifest. So that's the first example I've given you. Oh, it's all, I have 2 minutes to go. That's the first example I've given you about, for example, a village champion and an ad. The second thing is the company you keep around. You can have same career. One is has the morale and the mojo to move forward. The other one is comfortable where they are. It's better deal with the ones who are ready to face the challenge, but the one who is more comfortable, they'll also make you feel comfortable and you get stuck. So the binding is a problem. I'm going to give an example. I was even complaining. I was binded by somebody took my photo. They were just creating a storyline. They took a photo of my cousin. I know how her life is very hard, very hard. May Allah ease it for her. And I live a different lifestyle. When you put us together, guess what? This month I lost a lot of money because she was pulling my energy down as a low vibration. I lost a lot of money because my life force has to be used for her to feed her. It's like I was feeding her at the cost of my own expense, and I end up losing. Why? Because of that binding. So please, when you match somebody, make sure the person has your own criteria. How is the capacity of that person thinking? How is the background of this person? And then you can do background check of the family. You don't just build Kunst AI and you start quick building people and putting them here and there. Cheap is expensive. In the end, you end up getting losses because you are affecting those people in real life. I don't think I'll go further than that. I wish I can tell you more. Let's see. But I think it's more than enough what I've told you. But if I can upload this, maybe I'll come for part 2 just very quick and then we can continue. But bear in mind, those are the first main factors that we have to consider always. So I'll see you in part 2.